Hi everybody, welcome to our channel, Rebecca, Stu, and the crew. I'm Rebecca, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make this Easter DIY farmhouse bunny from the Dollar Tree. The supplies you're going to need are one of these large wood cutout DIY bunnies. You're also going to need a 2-pack of the off-white doilies, one of these burlap gift bows from the birthday supplies at Dollar Tree, some of their burlap and lace ribbon. You're also going to need some of their off-white lace ribbon and some of their farmhouse ribbon. We're going to use a few pieces of raffia and some of their twine. I also used 3 of these carrots that they sell over by the Easter supplies and some of this baby's breath, as well as a white large flower of your choice, some of these pearls, and then you could either use the 2 ceramic ornament eggs from Dollar Tree or paint 2 of these plastic eggs white. You're also going to need 1 of these cat scratch cardboards from Dollar Tree, a razor blade, a pair of scissors, and then you'll also need a lighter for your edges and a few craft sticks. We're also going to use a hot glue gun, a paintbrush, and some Mod Podge. So let's get crafty. So the first thing I'm going to do is take these plastic eggs. If this is what you're using instead of the ceramic eggs that are the ornaments that they sell, you're going to want to glue these shut just by putting a little bit of hot glue on there, snapping them closed, and then wiping off the excess. Then if you stick a little toothpick in the bottom, it helps you to hold them while you paint all the way around, and it will take at least 2 coats. Now let's set those aside to dry. So using our Mod Podge in a generous amount, we're going to put it all over our wooden bunny, making sure that we get really good at the edges there, and then we're going to lay our doily over the top of the bunny, trying to position it in place as best as we can to cover all of it. The one ear, you don't really have to worry about covering very much of it because we're going to put a very large bow up at the top. So I'm using a second doily just to cut some small pieces off so I can get the feet with the doily. And once that's all down and dried for a little while, I start cutting it out with some of their embroidery scissors from Dollar Tree. That worked around the larger pieces like the ears and things, but it really worked out better to just flip this whole entire piece over once it had dried a little bit, and applying pressure to the bunny, just go along the edges with an X-Acto knife and it cuts fairly well. It's okay if there's jagged edges, you're going to see that. That's where this lighter comes in. So it looks like I'm putting it right on the doily. I'm not. I'm just getting close to it, and what it does is it singes the edges of it, and it actually shrinks down right along the trim of that wood bunny there, and you cannot even tell that you had cut it and had all these fray marks once you're done. So you're going to slowly work your way all the way around the bunny, making sure not to get too close because you do not want to catch this on fire, and please do not burn yourself. So just go slow, take your time, and work your way all the way around, and it is just amazing how nice it cleans up those edges. Now, to make a little bit of a nicer edge as well, I'm taking some twine along with some hot glue and a craft stick, and as I go around the edges, I just hold the edge or the corner with the craft stick as I glue down the twine, and then I can use that craft stick to smooth it out. So I go all the way around the bunny here. So you just want to make sure that if you're going around a corner, push down with that craft stick and then pull that twine down the other side there, and it should line up fairly easy. It really didn't take me very long to do this part. You just want to go slow though and take your time. So once you have that all edged, then we're going to take this burlap bow and just apply some hot glue and then stick that right to the back of the bunny where a tail would go. Now I'm going to start working on my bow. So I'm taking a 12-inch piece of this wired ribbon. I fold it in half and then I stick some hot glue on either side of that crease that I just made to make loops on either side of the bow. So at first I had made 4 loops. I ended up only using 3. So you only need to cut 3 pieces of this ribbon. Please don't cut 4 like you see in the video. I just set that other piece aside and ended up not using it, but I'll probably end up using it in another craft down the road. So once you have all 3 of those done, you're just going to pinch those together in the middle and tie those with the long piece of twine in the center. So you want a long piece of twine because we're going to keep layering this bow, and as we layer it, we're just going to keep tying it on with that twine so it's already ready to go when we get to the next part. So taking about 6 pieces of raffia lined up, I just wrap those around my hand about 2 or 3 times, however many times you can get around. Then I spread open my fingers to make a little bit larger loops there, gather it in the center, lay that right on top of that bow, and using that excess twine that we had from the first bow, we're going to just tie a knot right here at the top. Once we've tied that off, we're going to take some scissors and start trimming up those edges that were too short to go all the way around into our bow to make the loops. You just really want to clean that up a little bit, and I did double knot this twine between each part of the bow to make sure I had a nice secure knot and that my bow wouldn't be coming apart. So now I'm just trimming up that raffia, and once that's done, you want to spread apart that raffia to make the bows and the little loops look nice. So now doing the exact same process with some twine, I wrap it around my fingers about 6 times, gather it in the center, lay that right on top of the raffia, and again using that excess twine that we used for the first 2 bows, just laying that on top and again tying another bow on top. So you want to just make a good knot. I'm not sure if I double knotted this one, but I did tie it rather tight. And now we're going to take that off-white lace that we have from the Dollar Tree and wrap that around our fingers about 3 times, and we're going to gather that in the center and then tie this off. Now if you notice, every time I made a bow with a different material, I just made it a little bit smaller so it graduated down in size so that it's a nice layered bow. Once I have that tied into place, I just stick a pearl right on the center of that to even it up. So it's a rather large bow. I ended up changing it later on, which you'll see here in a few minutes. So now taking some of those pearls, I didn't really like that rhinestone in the middle of that bow there, so I decided to take some of these pearls and create the center of a flower just by doing 6 pearls all the way around and then 1 large pearl in the center. And I just used hot glue to attach those. So now I took my bow and I put it up in the front, and it just was way too big for me. I liked it big, but I didn't want it too big. So I took a couple pieces of those loops and I just cut them open and then ended up dovetailing those to cut them down a little bit in size. Once I did that, I just glued that onto the bunny where that doily was missing over the ear. Now taking some craft sticks and a marker, I just line them up with our base, and then I'm marking where the top of it's at. That's how far it's going to be glued down into the base. So now I know where to glue it at on my bunny. So we flip the bunny over onto the back so that we can start gluing the stands on. So taking our stick, we're going to line up that black line that we drew with the bottom foot. Make sure you line it up with the foot, not where the base is at, where the tail would be, because the feet do stick down a little bit further than that. So you want to make sure you're lining it up with the bottom of the foot. So I did 4 little sticks here in all, 2 whole ones and 2 that I had cut in half, so that it wouldn't show past the foot. And I wanted to have a nice strong base so that it wasn't wobbly once I glued that into place. So once I have all of my sticks glued into place, I put it on my base where I'm going to want it, and then I just mark it with a marker where all of my sticks are going to be. And this is how I know where to cut some little openings so that I'll be able to get the sticks down inside, because it's corrugated cardboard. It's glued together fairly well, so you want to cut some little holes so it will slip down easily. I applied some hot glue first, and then I just popped these sticks right down into that base. That hot glue is going to help keep this bunny upright and in that base without coming out. You can pick it up by the bunny now, move it all around, and it's not going to come out. I also put a little bit of extra hot glue on the back just to make sure it's nice and secure. So once that was done, it was time to start decorating our base. So I took our 2 white Easter eggs and glued those to the front over by the front paw. I glued a large white flower that I just had around the house down to the base over in the corner. And then I took some baby's breath and cut that down. I did 2 sprigs on either side of different lengths. All I do is take a little bit of hot glue and put that on the stem and then poke it right through the cardboard as far as it will go. And that is enough to hold it into place. So I did 2 sprigs on either side of the bunny. And then I took this white flower that I had from another project and I just put that across the front and glued that down. I glued it in a few spots. I liked how this flower had some like a little bit of a curl to it, so it doesn't lay completely flat, and I was able to glue it down in a few spots to make it look like it was almost like a ribbon, the way it was kind of laying in the front there. So now we're going to take some of our farmhouse ribbon from Dollar Tree. I chose to use this one with the stripes, and we're just going to glue that all the way around the base. Just work slow. You want to smooth that down with the popsicle sticks so you don't burn yourself, and just work slowly around the sides. Go all the way to the back, and once you get the back completely done, you're just going to trim off whatever excess you have. Once I trimmed that off, I decided I wanted a little pop of color, so I took these 3 carrots from the Dollar Tree, and I glued 1 to each side and 1 in the center, and I made sure I had them going different directions just to make it look a little bit unique. I also took some gray paint because I like to have the backs of my projects finished, so I painted that. It's not necessary, you don't have to do that. And here are some close-up views of the base. Here's the tail with the pearls on there. There's the large flower with the carrots, and then here is the bow close up, and then also the doily on the bunny with the twine. I just love the way this turned out. I actually was starting another project and it wasn't quite working out, so I scrapped that and started this one, and I'm so glad I did because I just love the way it turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to like and share this video, and here are some other videos from our channel you might also enjoy. I hope you have a great day.